All right, seeing none, let's move to, just let everybody know in the audience, at this time of the year, as we're near the end of the school year, we ask reports from the parent organizations that are part of, that work with our students at RB, so the Booster Club, PTO, the foundation, music sponsor. So what we ask them to do is give a little report, make sure that the board passed a policy last year about what's required of these organizations for reporting wise, and what we're doing tonight is having each organization come up, give their reports, and we'll go from there. All right, the first organization up is Booster Club. Are they here?
They are.
Okay. And you can pull more chairs up if you want. I don't want to put two up there. So Kevin, before they start, are they in compliance with the board policy?
From everything I checked today, everything looked good, Mr. Agnew. There are a couple minutes and agendas that are maybe, I think they're from February. We got to maybe get a last month or two up, but other than that, everything looked good. The financials are up. Your 501c3 was up.
Yep.
Your bylaws, your officers, so
Yep.
look good to me, Mr. Cindy.
Okay.
And the couple that were missing, those were times when we didn't have a meeting, so we probably should have just put no meeting there. So,
Okay,
yeah, just
no
to
problem.
address it like that.
So tell us about your group.
Well, we appreciate the opportunity coming from the board. I have Gina Chapp here, she's our vice president. So she's coming to support me here. Thank you. In the binder, we just tried to, address some of the things that you guys put on your memo out to the club. So in the right-hand pocket, or left-hand pocket, you'll see the members, and you'll see that we have a couple vacancies that we just have found out we have to take care of. So we're in the process now of filling those. So we have a first vice president spot. We also have a treasurer spot. So Graining, after years and years, decided he's going on in a different direction, so we're gonna miss him. But, we'll try and fill these spots by our June meeting.
Okay.
So those are the members going forward. As we go through the pages, some of the, I wanted to just highlight a couple of summaries that we did since the last time we met. We've created a web-based online Bulldog Spiritware store that's really facilitated how people can go and buy Spiritware, Bulldog Spiritware. We've updated a lot of the merchandise. We've even made the order shop so you can go get t-shirts within a week. And we want to thank Bob Kunkel and his company, Graphics 2000, for helping us get to this point. But it's been really great. The orders have increased over last year, so we hope that's a good thing moving forward. I also put the web link there in case anybody wanted to see that. We've also established a web-based volunteer sign-up operation. So anybody that wants to volunteer, once we get their membership, we take their email and we input it into the volunteer organization. We have a committee member that monitors it. Joy Trader's done a great job in implementing it and staying on track. She can upload all the events for the year, and then you can pick as a parent or a volunteer what you want to volunteer for. So we've seen a great increase in volunteers due to that, and we appreciate her help in getting it moving forward. Third on our list is we really want to thank Art Oshro for all he's done for the Booster Club and getting the coaches in our direction, getting them on board in what we're doing, getting their athletes involved with volunteering where we need them. So this year we've had
Cheer sectional.
Yeah, cheer sectional and in basketball especially, tons of people coming in to help us out from kids, and as well as a couple of coaches actually stopped by too and help. So again, significant increase over last year. We're happy to say that since our last meeting, it looks like we've provided just over $42,000 in support to the athletic department. And as you can see, we wanted to get a list also for your review so that, there's a misconception out there that it only goes to certain sports. Well, you can see from this list, it's been very diverse. And one of the things we're really proud of this year was being able to help the training program out. Mr. Fry, he does so much for the athletes. He needed a new stim machine. We were able to supply that. So we're pretty proud we were able to give him what he needs to continue to help the athletes. The J. Kyle Braid, even though it's not an athletic thing, it's a leadership thing, we do go ahead and we support that. Just for your edification, the huddle program that we supply, that's going to help two sports, so that actually helps basketball and football. We also do the athlete of
What is
the week.
that, Chris?
What's that?
What's the huddle program?
The huddle program's where you see actually in the pros where you can break down film.
Oh.
Okay, so the kids can see the practice. It's, actually, we bought an end zone camera also in conjunction with Art, so they can break down and see all their practices, they can see all their games. It gives them slow motion. The kids are also able to put together highlight films to help in the recruiting process, so you don't get their attention.
And plus, back in the old days, you used to have to set up a meeting after your game on Friday, like Saturday morning. One of the lower level coaches would drive 3 videos over to the other school. They'd meet halfway, and now you just exchange them via online through the cloud.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like I said, so that helps. That went to both basketball and to football programs. And then we also do the senior picnic every year with Art. We sponsor mostly the food, the grill, and the concession stand. Yeah. Oh, and the senior banquet also. Yeah, we do that every year as well. So those are some of the things that we were able to help with this year, so we're proud to do that, and that's all through the concessions and the spiritware sales. So, as I said, we're looking forward to this year doing the same, so.
How many members do you have?
274.
Very
Yeah,
good.
so we're looking at getting
Very
that up
good.
over 300, so.
Good.
Nice job.
So, just to let people know, because some will be watching this, they want to join the boosters, what do they do?
We'll have all that information at registration that's coming up soon. You know, we'll have tables there. Gina, Dina, the rest of the board members will be there passing out information. It's also on the website, so we direct people to the RBHSA website. And, you know, you click on the athletic site, and we have a booster section right there that they can access any information. But mostly when they come in, we try and get them on all the registrations. Gina's in charge of membership, so, you know, she's the person you want to get in contact, and we try to get our names out there and be as visible as possible. She even does some stuff at the schools that are feeding RB, so,
Gotcha.
yep.
Maybe you could also mention the alumni membership.
Oh, we do, yes, right, yeah, which my son I just got on his butt for his 10 bucks. Yeah, we did, we created, and actually, we have, you know, a significant amount of alumni that came back, and they joined, and Mr. Walsh's family as well, so we think it's a good thing too. And in conjunction, I have to plug the golf outing on the 20th, which is, you know, we do have a lot of alumni coming back to that as well, so it's a good thing, so thanks for bringing that up. So we do have a diverse type of membership thing that we can do, and, you know, obviously, we're just willing to get, you know, our members up, so.
So, as people wonder, like you said, we spent over $42,000. How does that come about? Art, how do you do that, or you can?
The way it comes about is a coach or a program will come to me with a certain need, and if I feel it's necessary to go to the boosters, then I have the coach kind of draft a memo of what we need, what the cost will be, you know, where we have gone to try to get that quality price. Then I will go to a booster meeting, present it to them. They will then vote on it. The school then, I will purchase it, and the boosters will reimburse it. So
But we
have
own
a little
it.
bit of a process to go through, but
And we own it. Once the donation's made, it's property of RB.
yeah, we actually buy everything, and then the boosters just donate that money back to.
Okay. Any questions for the boosters? I'm very impressed with this notebook.
Yeah, well, it's just, you know, it just answers some of the questions. There was, you know, we, throughout the year, I had answered some questions in regards to, you know, the booster tax exempt 501c3, so I wanted to get an updated certificate to you guys on that. It's on the website. Certificate of liability with RB named as a certificate holder. Okay, so we have that in here. And then the financials, year end, and then as well as first 4 months.
Well, thank you very much for coming.
You got it.
I
Chris,
appreciate it.
do you want this back, or does it?
Up to you guys. Yeah, I mean, we can take it back because we
This
can
way you
just
can reload it
revise
for
it
next
the
year?
Yeah, why don't you
sure.
do that?
Thank you very much. That
You
was
know what
very
I'd
helpful.
ask you? Why don't you just keep one copy in Kevin's office so we can use
That
that
we can do that.
as a
Great.
reference, so.
I'll take this.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, our next group up is the PTO. And I know we only have 2 chairs there, but we can bring more chairs to have people sit or. Kevin, I know, I'm gonna ask you for every group to come by, have you reviewed, and are they in compliance with their policy?
Yeah, they are in compliance with everything. They are working on one minor difficulty. They had to renew their 501c3, and I'm sure they'll update us on that tonight. But other than that, their bylaws are posted, agendas, the projects, all that stuff is posted and available to the public.
Okay.
Okay, all right, thank you for having us. I'm Pam Powers. I am the current president of the PTO, and this is Renee Buxa, our treasurer. Basically, the PTO sponsors a variety of programs and activities, and we've divided them into 4 main categories, including community outreach, recognition, enrichment, and communication. Our membership's at 315, and this year we're proud to report that we have over 30 staff members, which is a significant increase in participation, and so we really appreciate that. For our finances, we started the year July 1 with a beginning balance of $6,615. Our income to date is $9,410 with expenses of $10,134, leaving a remaining balance of $59.89 for the year. We always want to keep a bit of a balance because we have a number of programs that come up early in the year. Our fundraising has, for the last couple of years, has primarily been through membership dues. We've also had some business sponsorships and donations for the directory, the Family Networking Directory, and the Day of Service. And we've also created this year a more robust website than we've had before, which does comply with your requirements for the policy 890. In regard to activities and programs, at the beginning of the school year, the PTO sponsors the Freshman Family Welcome. And this is held the first Monday prior to school starting. And it's a great opportunity for freshman parents to get to know the administration and the counselors in a more informal setting. And the Student Association, the executive board that was just here, they provide a fun opportunity for the incoming freshmen as well. They do like a little scavenger hunt or whatever and helps the kids get to know the building as well. So we also host a staff welcome back breakfast, an open house reception, a breakfast for the Veterans Assembly. And then during second semester, we sponsor the staff appreciation luncheon, Day of Service, and Senior Awards reception. This is our second year sponsoring Day of Service, and it continues to be a very well-received event and very successful. We had 255 students participate this year and over 50 adults, and they worked at 29 different sites. This was quite an increase from last year, the first year we sponsored it. We actually had 350 kids sign up, which really shows the enthusiasm. It dropped down due to cancellations with sporting events and those kinds of things. So, but we didn't have any floods this year, so we were really pleased. And we also want to thank, we had 2 board members also serving as our team leaders.
And I
Mr.
just want to
Jepson.
interject, I was very impressed with your organization, and
Thank you.
it really went, as far as I could see, without a hitch, and you made it easy for those first-timers to get involved.
Well, it's a really fun event, and we, like I said, we really appreciate yours and Mr. Cindy's help with that, because we couldn't do it without the team leaders, and it just, you know, the kids have a blast, and it's just continuing to
My
grow.
group, I think I had 15 kids with me, and we did the stadium, we painted the blue railing and everything, and great job. Talked about what we needed to do, they started doing it, and we didn't have to worry about it. Kristen, although it was a little bit sloppy on the railing, but she came by and helped a little bit, but no, I was very, very impressed with it.
Yeah.
Very, very good organization, but the kids knew what we needed to do, the leaders knew what they needed to do, so.
Yeah, and we received a lot of compliments from the community at large too, and I think that's the biggest thing, because I think it really shows the community spirit that RB has and what we put back, so thanks. Just quickly, in addition to these events, we also provide staff grants to various projects throughout the year. This year, we provided grants for choreography for the musical, to the J. Kyle Bray program to sponsor additional students to attend the training camp in Colorado. We funded the class of 2015 to provide incentives for students who purchase prom tickets early, and funds to disadvantaged students to pay for prom tickets, and also funds for the Positive Behavior Intervention Program. One other area that the PTO is really focused on is communication. This year we created a monthly newsletter that we issued from September through November. But once the district started their own newsletter, which is fantastic by the way, we decided that that would be duplicative, so there was no reason for us to really continue with ours. We also have done staff presentations at our meetings that have been very well received. That includes understanding what's new with curriculum and assessments, helping your child maximize their potential, and finding summer enrichment opportunities, which is, again, I think parents really appreciate. We have pretty much a packed house on that one. And we plan on continuing to provide these informational meetings as well next year. We're also looking at developing a couple of new projects for next year. When we were asked to provide the grants to the disadvantaged students so that they could go to the prom, it got us thinking about, other ways that we could help. And in Chicago, they have a program called the Glass Slipper Project, and this is where people donate, dresses, shoes, accessories. So we thought this might be something that we could introduce community-wide. We just want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to attend their prom. So we're in the planning phases right now, but we'll keep you posted on that. Another area that we're looking at is, as you're aware, the J. Kyle Braid project had ended this year after 20 years. And we talked with Mrs. Cassens and Mrs. Osborne about how wonderful this program is, and is there any way we could do something like this at RB, expanding it so it's not limited, just to athlete leaders, but across the board. So I know that it would take like a lot of research and a lot of discussion for administration and take a look at that, but the PTO is interested. If the board and administration would pursue a project like that, we would help with a targeted fundraising campaign just to help with something like that forward. So,
Explain to us what the J. Kyle Braid is all about, Patty.
yeah, basically, this is a leadership program that was started like 20 years ago by a couple in Colorado. Their son, J. Kyle Braid, was a student athlete on the right track, and then ran into problems with drugs and that sort of thing and committed suicide, I believe. And basically what they did is they set up a camp where students from across the country can come there, and then they learn leadership skills, then bring it back to the schools. And here at RB, basically they've done a lot of programs like with peer counseling, freshman orientation and role playing
Right.
and things like that. And it's just a fantastic program, so hate to see something like that end.
And the parents are
So-
choosing to close it, I believe.
Correct.
In Colorado.
Right, yeah,
This
they
is-
had
this is the
endowed
last
the
summer
program
for
for
it, right?
20 years.
For 20 years,
And
right.
this is the 20th year, so.
And who's your administrative liaison?
Mrs. Bilesma was, and now Ms. Smetana, so we're very excited. And Ms. Smetana, she's also presented a couple of times at our meetings as well, so we really appreciate that. So anyway, finally, we've spent a lot of our time this year developing an operating procedures manual for the PTO, amending bylaws, and doing some other organizational activities. And Renee can talk a little bit more about the 501c3 process. You had also asked for the officers for the 2014-15 year. I'm serving as president again this year. Liz Gamorzak will be our vice president of communications. Sue Hundorf Payne, vice president of membership. Kathy Parisi, vice president of philanthropy. Doris Perry is our vice president of music sponsors. And Renee Buxa, our treasurer. Kathy Barsall, secretary. And Janine Glavis-Cowell is our parliamentarian. We'd also like to thank Nancy Hawkins, who did a fantastic job of setting up our website and serving as the webmaster this year.
Okay.
So
So if somebody wants to join the PTO,
basically,
camera's gonna be looking at you if they're looking at this meeting, so.
right, the same thing with Chris. We'll also be there during residency. We'll have a table and you'll be able to sign up then. We'll also have forms on our website that they can send in to us as well.
Okay.
And we'll also be at the open house, which is when we hand out the directories. And so
Okay.
they can always join at that time.
Renee, can you provide a brief update on the 501c3?
Yes, our application was put into the IRS for the 501c3 back in November. And I just talked with them a couple weeks ago, and it's under review right now, and we should be hearing from them by August 1st.
Okay. Any questions for the PTO?
And just so the community's aware, there was they had a 501c3 and during all the transition of new leadership and some of the outgoing leadership, there were some timelines missed, so we just had to refile, correct?
Right, our status was automatically revoked due to a failure to file the annual tax returns.
Okay.
But you're working to correct it, so that's.
Right, and we went back and we filed the 3 returns that were missing, and we put you have to reapply, and we've done that. And now, like I said, when I talked to, they have everything, and they should let us know by August 1st.
Great.
Sounds like a lot of work. Do you have
It
help
was.
helping you with that? Who helps you with that?
Renee did a fantastic job. She's the one that really she found out what was, incorrect to begin with, and she went through the entire process.
I am an accountant by training, so I did that, but actually, after I had put much of it together, because it is very confusing, it's a very specialized area, is I worked with Stan Paddock, which is CPA in Riverside. He also, I know, does
Boosters.
with boosters also, and so I worked with him, and he reviewed our package, because it is a very complex.
We
You
wanna
both
say-
use the same accountants, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I want to say thank you. That's a lot of professional work. You had to put in a lot of extra time, and I don't think we realize just the extra amount of expertise that goes into maintaining that.
Right. The application is a lengthy process, and then even the annual returns. But we got it all in, and so everything's good now.
Any other questions for PTO? Thank you very much. We really appreciate you coming
Thank
out.
you. Great
very
job.
much.
Thank
Great
you.
job.
Thank you.
You keep that day of service going, so.
Music
All
sponsors.
right, next group up is music sponsors. Step on up. And I think we have a handout from,
Should be a spreadsheet for the
yeah,
music
spreadsheet right
sponsors.
here.
Colored box on top.
This, yeah. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Doris Perry. As Pam said, I am the Vice President of Music Sponsors. This is
Doris,
my,
let me ask one question for you.
Yes,
Have
sir.
you reviewed?
Music sponsors fall under with the
Okay,
PTO.
all right, okay.
right. I am the Vice President of Music Sponsors. Diane McClellan is with me tonight. She is our recording secretary. We have continued to operate as a committee of the PTO during this past school year. For our officers for next year, we're pretty much remaining the same. I will still be on there. Diane will remain on the board. Lisa Nortier has been our treasurer, who worked closely with Renee as far as filing with the, getting all of our documentation in order. And then we have a new second vice president, which will be Candy Longo. I did send you out a summary of the month ending as far as how we stood April. We did have we developed a very good budget this year with working with PTO music sponsors. We did have an outstanding fundraising year this year. We had World's Finest, which was overseen by Lisa. Gourmet Delight Cheesecake was overseen by Maureen Gruber, and the Holiday Concert Program brochure and advertisement book was overseen by Olga Androulas. And these fundraisers specifically go to help the students when they go on their trips. This year it was the annual band trip. They took a trip to Nashville in February. So for those kids who may not have been country music fans, they broadened their horizons and learned to appreciate other styles of music, which some of them didn't realize everything that goes into it. They were able to perform at Ryman Auditorium. So they had a lot of different experiences that they were able to take. They partook in a workshop in developing new composition, working with some songwriters and stuff, workshops that they were able to go to. So we had, a number of parents that went with that to also chaperone. We also had another dedicated group of volunteers with Lisa, and Diane helped to work with the IMEA Junior High Music Festival. And that which is Mr. Colombo from the Hauser District. He spearheaded and RB hosted. How many students were here?
Gosh,
400
close to 500.
Close to 500 students on a Saturday in November participating in band, orchestra, and choir. And then at the end of the day, as all these students practice, they end up having a concert here. So 500 students participating and all the parents and family coming to support that with an evening concert at the end of the day. We continue to encourage our kids. We sponsor a pizza party marking the end of the marching band camp, which will be in August. They cannot wait. They're going to start at 8 o'clock in the morning this year. Get those teenagers ready for high school again. We also sponsor receptions for the fall instrumental concert, the holiday concerts, and the Apollo Music Awards. We also have volunteers that work with the kids during the 4th of July parades that we do for Riverside and Brookfield. We also go down into the city with the Von Steuben Day Parade. We still continue to do that. We also have parent volunteers who assist with measuring of the marching band uniforms every fall and the concert attire, which comes up also. We also help with providing assistance with when we host our incoming feeder schools as far as the orchestra, the band, and the choir. I'm trying to see here. We also this year hosted Providence St. Mel here in February and also had a concert with them. So those students came in and they rehearsed with the choir. We hosted a dinner for them and then they performed the concert here. And let's see, we also participate in the incoming freshman parent orientation night. We are also here at RB Open House and we are RB. The music sponsors also underwrites all of the cost of the Apollo Music Awards that the students receive. We just had that concert about 2 weeks ago. And we also underwrite the cost of the drum major camp for the students. All of our information is located under the RBS PTO website under music sponsors. And when we looked at what our challenges this year was really effective communication, and that's something we want to improve. To take a look at what the athletic group has done and also with PTO is admirable. They really did a great job on that binder. I told Diane we got to step it up for next year for sure. But we really wanted to have better communication with our parents, informing them about the fundraiser dates, the different things that are coming up, you know, and we also want to let the parents know we're more than just a group that supports the band, but also for choir and orchestra and for the jazz group too. Oh, and the twirlers. We do work with our twirlers. So we have talked about that where we really want to encompass more of that, and we've already started talks with administration with providing us, helping us to be able to communicate more effectively with the parents participating in the music groups.
100 members.
In what? And we have approximately 100 members before.
Okay, good.
And
So if somebody would like to join the music sponsors,
we are at all of those nights. We will be at every registration. We are at the orientation night. If they want to find out more information, just check under our tag under the PTO website.
okay, any questions for music sponsors?
Are we ordering the band uniforms this year?
Yeah.
I believe we are, and we're gonna try to have them before.
They've been ordered.
Right.
We should have them in August.
Yeah, before the, that's why,
Okay.
That's the plan.
I heard they're supposed to be here before the first.
Right, and we were already going to start measuring the incoming freshmen when they come for band orientation in June. Well, you know what? Honestly, it makes it easier on us than trying to measure like 125 new students in the month of August and figure out how we're going to match them all up.
Good.
So if we can get half of them done, it makes it easier on my volunteers, and really that's what counts. I'm going to make their job as easy as possible.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, really
Thank you.
appreciate it. All right, last group is the Riverside Brookfield Education Foundation.
Board should have a handout as well. That's the second spreadsheet. Two spreadsheets, excuse me. And I also included the email from their treasurer, Anthony Mizio, who could not be here tonight, to just update you what's in the spreadsheets.
Okay, Kevin, with this group, are they in compliance with the policy?
They are in compliance.
Okay, all right,
And Stan is also our man.
Stan Patty.
Yeah, Stan is the man for RB, I guess.
Right.
All right, the RB Educational Foundation was incorporated in 1987, and after a few years hiatus, it resumed again in the year 2000. I am the current president, and because we will be electing our new officers in June, the names I give you tonight are for the 13-14 school year. I'm serving as president. Jane Fremgen is the vice president. Tony Mazio is the treasurer, and Jennifer White is the secretary. Our trustees currently are Shar Kruger, James Franco, Linda Mueller, Kim Michael, Betty Corcoran, and Michelle Hana. We have a website, which is www.rbef.tv, and our financials and minutes are posted as soon as they are approved. We also keep in direct contact with Kevin and send him all information. Our major fundraiser is the telethon, which was held in February this year, and it is a very gratifying job. It's a lot of work, and we are on all day. We are a legitimate telethon, and many thanks to Gary Prokes and his staff for supplying a lot of the manpower. And thank you also to the board and the administration who give us some help too. We will miss Pam because she actually performed one year and was a wonderful cheerleader. So Hinsdale is getting a good act. We have, telethon is our only fundraiser, and this year we raised over $16,000, actually close to $19,000, and have distributed about $16,000. We gave out 27 grants to students, faculty, and staff here at RB. We also are the trustees of some independent funds, and one being the Kristen First, and that was established by her family. And we also are trustees for the Otto Hock Fund. And we distribute them according to the wishes of those who set up those grants. We also have the Dawn Heller Scholarship. It's actually the Dawn and Anton Heller Scholarship. And that is funded through the Hellers themselves. And then we have the Robert Gwynn Scholarship that we administer, and that was set up in honor of Robert Gwynn, a Riverside resident who passed away at the age of 101 and was quite a wealthy man, a very wonderful man, and interested in RB and in education. As far as challenges, I would say personally my biggest challenge is getting people to fill out the grants correctly. I think it's the teacher in me, and I've learned to put my red pen down, but unfortunately we are not able to fund some of the grants because people don't do all they're supposed to do, and particularly when you're working with kids, I really find that heartbreaking. And some people say, well, it's a life lesson learned, but it's a tough way to do it. And I believe you have a copy of the grant recipients, and you can see the type of grants that we give out. And it's very gratifying to know that we as an organization can make possible some opportunities for students which they may not be able to do. And when we receive the thank you notes or the feedback from them, you know that all those late hours and trying to get money out of people and more corporate sponsors and asking for items to use as premiums, that it's all worth it. And other than thanking your support, I really don't have anything else unless you have any questions.
If somebody wants to give a donation or join your group, how do they do that?
Oh, if they can send it, make out a check, we take checks, cash, whatever you want to give, to the RB Educational Foundation in care of the high school. And we have a mailbox and we will get it. And we take donations all year round. And we are looking for more corporate sponsors.
If somebody wants to join your group, or
All they have to do is express interest. Our meetings are open. We meet on Wednesday evenings downstairs in the Student Services office. And we usually meet probably 10 months out of the year. If we see that there's a necessity, we will meet 12 months.
Most of your, being your liaison, most of the meetings fall through February to set up the telethon.
Yeah,
And then after that, it's setting up how to collect the money and distribute it. So, it's pretty central on the telethon and the...
Yeah, it really centers around the telethon, and we've already begun working on our next February telethon. So, and if you have any talent who'd like to be on stage,
okay, any questions for the Education Foundation? All right, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot,
thank you.
Joanne.
I appreciate everybody that's come tonight to present. We're very happy. Very professional presentations, and I really like what we're seeing and how you're really helping our students. So.
Ms. Shindy, if you don't mind, I'd just like to make a brief comment. If you think about where we were 3 years ago when we started looking at our parent organizations and implementation of our new policy, I think it's really a compliment to all of our volunteers and the time they put in and to work with the administration and the school board to get all this completed. So, this is really, I'm very happy. So,
I'm very happy too.
thank you to all the volunteers.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.